This is what in the media business is called a softball question.
Mm,
You mentioned at the beginning that the model that the scenario you modeled, which was a permanent 1% of GDP increase in the primary deficit, which is again is the deficit excluding interest costs, and you found coincidentally that that is about the result of permanently extending the expiring 2017 tax cuts, which Congress is going to have to do something about this year. Uh, so what do you think they should do? I mean, do you think, from what you found in the study, that Congress needs to think about the inflationary pressures that extending those tax cuts would have without any corresponding raising revenue someplace else or cutting spending?
right. Love softball questions. So, so I think that there are a couple of things that they are considering that might fall under the category about of what Steve and I were talking about earlier. So, provisions that might incentivize more investment, where the potential bang for the buck for increasing the capacity of the economy might be high. And here I'm thinking of bringing back 100% bonus depreciation, for example. Um, that's something where I think that the benefits are potentially high, and um, if Congress couldn't agree on a pay for those things, I might be I would be more
You
amenable
might
to
let it slip.
I would be more amenable for them deficit financing those kinds of things. But the vast majority of what they're looking at is, tax cuts for individuals, and for that matter, existing tax cuts for individuals. Not even at this point, not even new things. Although I know that they are considering new things and might bring new things into the debate. And none of these speak to the components of incentives that really drive economic growth. In other words, like none of these are really good, speak to opening new businesses, driving investment, driving better education, higher skills, that sort of thing. It's tax cut, it's individual tax cuts. And look, like I love tax cuts. I've got 4 kids, one of whom is in college right now. The other 3 are on their way. Like, who doesn't love tax cuts? I love pizza and ice cream too. That doesn't mean that I should have it all the time. And I think that we're at the point now where um, we should not have those sorts of things all the time. And I don't mean to harp on tax cuts solely. We need to look at spending as well. It's just that we happen to be at a point now in the debate where they are debating tax cuts. And, why on earth, given the trajectory of our debt going forward, and given the findings of our paper about the potential implications on cost of living, would they, number one, be thinking about cutting taxes at all? And number two, if they're going to cut taxes, why would they be thinking about doing it without fully paying for it?